This is what's really happening in the housing market right now, and it's not what most people think. There are now more sellers than buyers, and that shift is starting to slow everything down. Let's start with home prices. Right now, the median home price sits around $429,000, and it's still slightly up compared to last year. So let's be clear about something important: there is no housing crash right now. Prices haven't collapsed, they've just stopped rising the way they used to. Now let's look at what's actually changing. Foreclosure activity has ticked up a bit recently, but it's still nowhere near the levels we saw leading into the 2008 crash. Even compared to 2012, when the market was still recovering, today's numbers are much lower. So the idea that we're already in a crash? The data just doesn't support it. But here's where things start to shift. Mortgage rates climbed above 7% and have now come down closer to 6%. That sounds like good news, but there's a catch. Even at 6%, homes are still expensive. And for buyers, what really matters is the monthly payment. Now add this on top: rising ownership costs. Since 2019, property insurance has jumped more than 70%, and property taxes are up around 30%. So even if mortgage rates improve, the total cost of owning a home keeps going up, and that's crushing affordability. You can see it clearly in the Housing Affordability Index. At 100, a typical family can barely afford a home. Right now, we're hovering right around that level. Before the pandemic, that number was closer to 160 or even 170. That's a massive drop. And this is where everything connects. Buyers are pulling back, even as more homes hit the market. So now we have more supply, but weaker demand. That's why homes are sitting longer. Not because they won't sell, but because buyers finally have options. They're comparing, negotiating, and walking away from overpriced homes. There's also another shift happening in the background: migration. People are leaving expensive states like California and New York, and moving to more affordable areas like Florida and parts of the South. And that matters, because real estate is local. Some markets are still growing, while others are slowing down significantly. So when someone asks, "Why isn't my house selling?" it usually comes down to three things: it's priced too high for today's market, it doesn't stand out online, or it's located in a slower local area. Here's the bottom line: this isn't a crash, it's a shift. Homes are still selling, but not automatically anymore. And if affordability stays tight and buyers don't return quickly, the real question becomes: how much will the market need to adjust before things start moving again?